Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships, and today we are taking a look at the Halloween event. First, you can already see you have some special ships for this event. This is the battleship, and I mean look at it. It's just gorgeous. They really designed those well, and they have kind of a steampunk look. Now I do like steampunk, so I guess that helps. And yeah, I think this battleship is based on the Kawachi. The cruiser is a St. Louis. You can see one here with Tesla coils, and the destroyer is probably a Wakatake, I think. Now, in this game mode, you have to escort the Transylvania, a ship that is, well, that doesn't have any guns, and you have to escort her safely to a weird-looking portal. The Transylvania is obviously filled with treats. No idea what are proper treats for a ship. I'm guessing those are filled with, I don't know, rum, beer, vodka. But as it may, this is a PvE game mode. Here you can see a catapult, that's stationary defense that you have to take care of. Battleships are very good at that. You might wanna fire armor piercing in your battleships in this game mode. The cruisers, they are basically setting everything on fire, they shoot that. So I think the cruisers are the only one who have a chance to set stuff on fire in this game mode. So as a cruiser you wanna shoot everything until it burns and then switch targets. The destroyers are obviously very good at using their torpedoes. And battleships with their armor piercing are very good at taking out catapults. Now the enemies that spawn, and we will see some spawn here very soon, they are sort of battleships with secondaries only. They don't use their main guns. As long as you stay 4 kilometers away from those battleships, you should be safe. The secondaries of those battleships will set you on fire if they hit you, like with every shot. So be very careful if you are too close to them. If you stay outside of about 4 kilometers, then you should be fine. Now the Transylvania moves faster if there are more ships in her vicinity. There is no real reason to have more ships help pushing the Transylvania. The enemies that are spawning aren't, well, I mean, there is a set amount of enemies that will spawn, so it's not like if you're too slow there will be more enemies. So if you're pushing her faster, you might push her faster towards enemies and you have less time to deal with them. Well, I mean, you can handle them as you want. But yeah, it might be okay if you only have 1 or 2 ships pushing her. And I mean, sometimes you're just forced inside that circle because of where you're going. But anyway, I'm staying here outside of the circle. And something else I might add, if you are in a fast ship or if you spawn in the front in the beginning, you might not want to drive immediately inside the circle and start pushing the Transylvania. You can, if your battleship's a little bit time to catch up, maybe position one more in the front of the fleet. But it's working out very well here. Now this game mode is not the easiest, so I succeeded on my second try, but I mean, it's down to your team. If you enter this with a division, I guess you can do quite a bit. It's 7 players per team. Now we have the 2 destroyers here going here the south route. The Transylvania can take either the north or the south. So I'm not sure, I guess this is determined randomly. Now those destroyers, they might be trying to take out those catapults, I'm not sure. I mean, the destroyers have smoke, and smoke can be rather helpful. It can also be rather helpful at shielding the Transylvania. There is a boss fight at the end, which can be quite problematic. So yeah, use your smoke wisely. The destroyers also have a heal in this battle. I think the cruiser does as well. So I mean, I'm a fan of battleships, and so I'm in a battleship. And I managed to lob some shells through a gap here, through those spikes, which worked quite nicely. Also at some point there will spawn 3 battleships behind you. You don't have Exactly. Right now there are spawned 3 battleships behind us. You don't have to take those out, but I guess you could. So if you decide to go very slow with the Transylvania, If you stop moving here, those ships will catch up. So keep that in mind. But it's quite... yeah, it's possible to do this mission without killing those 3 ships. Also, if you succeed in your mission or not, does not really matter that much. You get an achievement for completing the mission, but your credits will come from doing a personal mission, which means you have to do a certain amount of damage. I think it's like 130,000, but I would have to check that again. So there are 2 personal missions, damage based, that will give you credits, and I think there is one sink a few ships and get some free experience. You can use premium consumables. I'm doing this here, but I guess there is no use for it, and obviously you gotta pay for premium consumables, so that's up to you. I mean, the destroyer has 4 consumables loaded. I wouldn't load premium in every slot there. And also, the enemy battleships are not that well armored. And yeah, since you aren't setting fires anyway, setting fires is the job of your cruisers. I would just stay with armor piercing. You do have secondaries as well, you can see them open up, but the enemy secondaries are, well, a lot better. As you can see, I'm already burning. And you will burn a lot. There you can see there is the second fire now. You might want to wait until you're out of the secondary range before taking care of the fires. And generally speaking, just try to avoid getting too close to the enemy battleships. Something else, your battleship, if you are in the battleship, has guns on both sides. So it might pay off to use them. So you can shoot targets on the left and the right side. And yeah, so far we are doing a great job here. As you can see, we are pretty much ignoring those 3 ships. They are outside of my range. I'm not sure if this cruiser can damage them, but trying. And I think this is a position where I guess you could just decide to stop pushing and take care of those ships, but as I said, I don't think it's necessary. Now also, your team has 7 ships. There is no real... the configuration here is not enforced in any way, so I've seen ships... I've seen teams with more battleships or less battleships, for that example. So I don't know if it is hard-coded that you must have a cruiser or destroyer or something on your team. I've been doing quite fine with battleships so far, and yes, as I said, battleships are just my favorite ship type. Now, in the end, there will be a boss fight, and for the boss fight, I think destroyers are probably pretty crucial, because they can do a lot of damage with their torpedoes, and they could provide smoke. And I think smoke might be rather important, because the boss has a lot of hit points, and he hits like a truck, so... Well, I mean, most important is that you keep him away from the Transylvania, but... as a battleship, tanking it, you might just get sunk. Or if you can smoke up the friendly team, that probably helps a lot, and maybe smoke up the Transylvania. So right now we are doing quite well, all of our team is still alive. Unfortunately, those catapults are all kind of hidden behind mountains. The catapults are something that should be taken out really fast. If you're in a battleship and you can shoot a catapult, shoot a catapult. The battleships can really devastate catapults. And also in this map, I mean, you see there are a lot of weird formations at the mountains. I'm not always sure when you can shoot something or how you can lob shells. And there is the message. Rasputin has spawned, I guess. Here you can see here is a large fleet of enemies coming in here. And keep in mind we still have the battleships pushing behind us. So this is sort of an ambush here, and yes, here is Rasputin. You can see him. But first we gotta take care of all of those ads. And there is still a catapult to take care of. I don't really have shots towards that catapult. The battleship here is unfortunately taking a beating. There isn't much that I can do for him. And yeah, we really have to take care of those ships before they can overwhelm the Transylvania. And unfortunately there are two ships now close enough to set me on fire with the secondaries. And pretty soon those two will also be here, I'm afraid. And there isn't really awfully much I can do about that. I mean, I also have to keep in mind that there is the Transylvania, right? It's still better if they shoot me than if they shoot the target, I guess. So I'm trying to take out this buzzer. And well, the Transylvania rammed me. Now I didn't pay that much attention where I was going, and the Transylvania is a bot. And this is where I get stuck, which is highly amusing. I tried to get forward here, but it didn't happen. At some point I tried reversing, it also didn't help. So here I can't do anything. But on the bright side, I guess I'm a human shield for the Transylvania, and I'm slowing her down. So she probably doesn't get closer to enemies. So I guess there is a bright side, so I can always claim it's a tactic, but really I just didn't pay attention and I got stuck for a while here. Now on the bright side, there is this Sikasa. He should go down shortly. There is one battleship still left here behind us. And other than that, there is only Rasputin, and Rasputin is already at about half health. Now he is turning to give me better shots, which is pretty nice of him. And you know, I don't know where our Transylvania would be if I hadn't stopped her here, but yeah, I think I can still claim it's a totally not my incompetence here that I'm stuck. And I've managed to get free finally, which is nice. Yeah, that's Rasputin taken care of. You can see the battleships here behind, despite me just slowing down the Transylvania. The battleships have not caught up yet. And there are just two enemies in front of us we have to take care of, and now we can just all together push towards victory. And also, surprisingly enough, I'm still alive. And yeah, my team has lost 3 ships, but well, I think that's actually pretty amazing that we only lost 3 ships. And I've managed to get myself somewhat stuck in a sinking ship because I wasn't stuck enough already during this game. Oh, only this Tikasa is between us and victory. Unfortunately, the Transylvania is burning and we just failed this secondary objective. But yeah, almost, I guess. And there is another kill, and now onwards to victory. Only those few ships behind us left. We could, I guess, turn around and kill them, but there really isn't much use for that. Unless you are in a ship and you still need some damage for your objective. I guess here you could turn around and take care of them, but we just push forward and win. And I have to say, really well played from my team. It was really nice. I mean, we didn't communicate an awful lot, but we just seemed to work well together. You can also see there is more than enough time left, even though we pushed rather slowly. So time isn't really a concern here. And yeah, here we just win. Take a look at the results. We managed to get 3 out of 5 secondary objectives. As you also can see, eliminate all foes doesn't require you to kill the 3 chasing battleships, so you can safely ignore them. Unfortunately, the Transylvania fell below 50% hit points near the end, and she did stop, I think, even after the boss fight. After the battle was basically won, I think we missed to have someone inside the cap circle for a short amount of time, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I think our team did really well, and it was a lot of fun. We got the unique achievement for completing his mission. And yeah, let's hope that Wargaming makes more such events in the future. I can really encourage you to try it out. And I'll see you guys next time.